again to the latest edition of the SAU Baseball Coaches Show. I'm Daniel Gallegos, joined alongside head baseball coach Steve Browning. And Coach, 2 weekends into the season completed, 9 games played. Your team sits there at 5-4. You know, not the start I think you wanted to jump out to, but that's not necessarily indicative of how well you've played at some of the games. You know, tough competition been played. Your pitching has been outstanding. Talk a little bit about you know, the start to the season, in particular the 5 games in the Quick Trip Classic.
Well, it's, you know, you're right. It's not where we want to be right now. but if you look at our competition, who we've played, who we've beaten, you know, and then even the games that we've lost, you know, I mean, you know, they're, you know, right there in the thick of things there, and, you know, lost a heartbreaker to Kingsville there at the end. And so it's, you know, we like where we're at. I mean, obviously, there's things for us to work on, and, you know, we've seen some shining moments where we were pretty good in some areas, but, you know, the competition is the main thing. I think it will prepare us for the end of the year, you know, when we get ready to hopefully make a run at a conference championship and a tournament run there in the regional, and that playing these games early in the year will, you know, come back and help us. So, you know, the Quick Trip Classic you're referring to, I mean, it was, man, it was 4 days of great baseball. You know, I mean, there was good teams there, good competition, well-played games, cold weather on Thursday, hot weather on Saturday and Sunday. I mean, you got a little bit of everything, but I thought it was a good tournament, and you know, again, we saw some good things from our team, especially I think the pitching was the highlight for us there throughout the Classic, and you know, offensive there were some struggles there, but we still had some big hits by some key players. You know, you got like Chris Quinn coming in and laying down a kind of, you want to call it a walk-off bunt, I guess, on Thursday, and then turn around and hits a walk-off home run on Friday. But you know, I thought pitching was the key, and but it was good just to see some good regional opponents there at the Classic.
Early on in the season, it's kind of tough to gauge what will actually happen when you get out onto the field. I mean, you can look at any team on paper, particularly, you know, your team. You look at it, you had pretty much everybody from your lineup coming back last year as a lineup that enjoyed success top to bottom, so you figure that may be a strength coming into the year. Early on, it's just seems like some guys have struggled to kind of get it going and to find consistency throughout the lineup, and you're a guy that likes to throw out a consistent lineup, and so trying to juggle that and find kind of, you know, the magical lineup that works has been a little bit difficult here at the beginning. But I think one thing that should shine out that maybe gets overlooked a little bit has been you know, your pitching that you've talked about, going back to the Quick Trip. You know, 5 games in 4 days, it might be one of those where you could burn through a lot of guys, but really you had your starters step up. Preston Gray goes 10 innings. Timothy Buchanan goes into the 9th inning of his start. Landon Simpson had a great start, and then even Hunter Mayo. It's kind of closed it out to where everybody's like, most teams are tapped out on pitching. You're able to throw out a guy out there to give you some strong innings. So talk about your pitching staff up to this point of the year.
Well, they've been huge, and that's what we've you know, we've said if we want to accomplish the goals that we've set out this year, that we've got to have pitching and defense first, and then, you know, hitting along the way. And really that's what we've had. You know, even though the defense hasn't been where we want it to be, it will be. You know, we just got some things to shore up, but pitching has been very consistent for us. I mean, just about every game we've played, we've had very good starting pitching. You know, the pitching that's come in and, you know, throughout the middle of the game or the back end of the ball game has been good for us. And that's the key, because at the end of the year, if you want to win, then you better have that. And, you know, and it was the same as this weekend. You know, I mean, going out and the start that Simpson gave us on Thursday and very, very frigid temperatures. And then Preston Gray coming out and throwing 10 innings. And I know people are like, you know, oh, you're throwing a guy 10 innings early in the year. Well, I mean, his pitch count was down, and the guy was pretty good. And, but because of the starts they gave us early in the tournament, it allowed us, you know, like I said, we really didn't have to go to the bullpen inning. And then, you know, you come out and the starting pitching we got, especially with Mayo, you know, Buchanan threw well against Kingsville, but Hunter Mayo coming out on Pitt State on Sunday was huge for us. And especially after the way Saturday went for us as a ball club, you know, come out Sunday and get a great start from our pitching out of Hunter, and then, you know, Jared Webb coming in there at the end, but also it gave us a chance to offense to kind of give a little, you know, I think they were able to relax a little bit, you know, because there's no runs being put on the board, and they were able to relax, and we put together some very good innings and saw some good things there.
You know, most recently you took on LSU Shreveport. They're a team not Division II, they're NAIA, but year in and year out they're one of the top teams in the NAIA. It's a close trip, and so it's a really good opportunity to play a home-and-home with them midweek. You know, there's a reason why you play those guys every year, twice a year. So talk a little bit about that game. Obviously, you know, the score wasn't where you wanted it to be, but there still was some things offensively that went pretty well, and then obviously still pitching was good with Landon taking them out.
Yeah, you know, again, LSUS is the only team we play all year long that's not a Division II in-region opponent. And, you know, couple reasons why. One is because they are close. Two, it's because they'll be one of the best teams we play all year. You know, we want to play the best competition possible. And, yeah, things didn't go our way, obviously, you know, but they're a good ball club, but we didn't help ourselves any defensively. And then offensively, I mean, I thought we swung the bat well. And actually had some of our most consistent at bats and consistent, you know, innings that we've had all year long, with the exception that we didn't score any runs. And that was just simply because we didn't execute well when we needed to. You know, we had guys on all night long, but when it came time for a sac fly or whatever the case is, or, you know, just, you know, hitting into double plays with runners on the scoring position, you know, things we didn't do to help ourselves. And then, you know, defense wasn't there at the end also. But again, there's still some positives to build off that. Some guys I thought had some good at-bats and struggled a little bit, so hopefully they can build off the confidence that they had the other night and, you know, go back to work and get ready for a big weekend.
Looking ahead, another big weekend coming up. You're playing a couple of teams, but 4 games. Starting first with Central Missouri. They're a team that year in, year out at the Division II level within their region, and then obviously on the national scale. Our competitors are very, very tough teams, so good competition there. And then you also got Lincoln University coming in to play them on Saturday and Sunday. Talk a little bit about that weekend, starting first with Central Missouri.
Well, just again, you know, we're looking for ways to play some of the best teams we can in region games, and you know, we get the opportunity this weekend to host 2 good teams, and like you said, Central Missouri is, you know, I mean, when you think about this region, you know, Central Missouri is one of the first teams you think about, who's been there year in, year out, one of the most consistent ball clubs in the nation, and you know, so the opportunity to get to play those guys is huge, especially early in the year. It gives us a chance to see again where we're at, and you know, get a chance to play a team that's probably going to be there at the end of the year, you know, if we're trying to accomplish what we want to accomplish. So, great weekend, little 3-team series. You know, 4 games again. We're going to play 4 games in 3 days, so we got to be, you know, we got to be ready to go. And but it's fun. And again, our idea was to play games early in the year that would set us up for a postseason run, give us some tournament experience. You know, that way when our guys get to that point, and you got to play multiple games, you know, in a very short time frame, that we've been there and done that before.
We appreciate it very much for your time. Again, that's head baseball coach Steve Browning. He and his Mule Riders set for another big weekend, 4 games in 3 days, as he mentioned, starting first with a doubleheader against Central Missouri on Friday. First pitch for that is at 2 p.m., and then Saturday they'll take on Lincoln University. First pitch scheduled for 5 p.m., but it'll be about 30 to 35 minutes. Following Central Missouri and Lincoln, they play first that day. And then Sunday, finishing up with Lincoln, first pitch at 1 p.m. Be sure to check MuleRiderAthletics.com for all your live links if you're not able to make it out. But if you are, we appreciate the support. And, Coach, best of luck.
Thank you.